Let's start with the difference between var, let and const. Nah, I'm not here to tell you about basic stuff. I am talking about real pro level secrets. The distinction between a casual coder and a six-figure engineer. The things most tutorials never tell you. So stop coding like a beginner. After this video, you'll code like a pro. I am about to reveal 3 JavaScript and React.js coding secrets that will blow your mind and level up your dev game. I have worked with multinational million to billion dollar companies solving real world problems at scale, from fast paced services companies to high impact product based organizations. I have seen what separates an average dev from an elite. So stick around till the end because these 10 minutes will change your dev game. Discuss the tip number 1. Always use serializers. Now don't get confused with the fancy term serializer. What serializers are, we'll see it in action. Now I am using VS Code. You can create a new project using v.dev or you can apply these practices in your existing project. Now under source directory, I am creating a folder named serializers. Now you noticed I have just used all small letters. You can see my file names are all in small letters. Because according to the Google Developer Docs, the best file names are the small letters with the hyphen. Now I'm going to create a new file named auth.js under serializer, and now I'm creating a function. Let's call it auth serializer. So this function is an arrow function, and let's say it can accept, you can say some data or you can name it params, whatever you like. So I'm exporting this function, and now we are supposing that we can get a data from an authentication API, and now we are going to destructure that data and get some information. For example, this includes an email, a username, and let's say there is another property, token, or we can use like age. But here is the difference. What if these properties are not supplied by the API? So now we need to check if email exists, then we can return an email, or if that property doesn't exist, we can just return an empty string. Now I'm copy and paste it for a bunch of times for other properties too. So for this username, we can now say that if username exists, then return this username or an empty string. And same for the token. Let's say if token exists, then we can return token, or else we can return null. Same for the age. We can see if age exists, then we can return the age, or else we can return null. Age here too. So you can see this is a bit problematic, and I'm sure you a better way. We can destructure and we can assign some default values. For example, we can assign empty to the username and email, and then for the token we can assign null. For the age, similar, we can assign null. Now this is also called a null object design pattern, but do not get confused with the fancy term. It is again an expression and a best practice. So I'm returning email, age, username, and token. So our serializer is ready. Now what are the benefit of these serializers? I'll show you. And now we are going to auth.js API. In authenticate user, we are using this auth serializer, and we are supplying all the payload to it so that we can get a defined structured response from there. So this is the major benefit of using a serializer. Now for the first, it guarantees that returned object has always the same structure. Even if some fields are missing from the API response, you can always have the default values. For second, if an API does not include all the expected fields, directly accessing them might result in undefined. So with destructuring and default, Missing properties won't cause a runtime error, so it prevents error due to the missing data. For third, any function or component that consumes the authenticated user data can only rely on a consistent format without additional checks. So basically, we are centralizing the response format in auth serializer, means you can modify how user data is structured in one place without changing multiple parts of your codebase. Now if you are new to the channel, subscribing takes less time than debugging the one error that you have been stuck on. So smash that button, and I will see you in next video with the second.